demonstration for my cargo drone. Here's the circuitry that it is has been set up for it. It's just the basic proximity sensors from the forward and the bottom sensor. The forward will be utilized as a proximity or surrounding sensors, and the bottom will be a proximity from the ground in order for it to land or to know it's airborne. We got two servo sensors here acting as a clamping mechanism and to actuate a landing legs in order for it to safely land and not land on its belly. We also have some motors here that will go forward or back to simulate lines being dropped in order to be delivering equipment or lines being picked up back into the drone and to be taken away back into its central hub. I also have here a LED that continuously flashes on and off just to give a visual representation that the drone is active and ready to receive commands. So if we start the code or the simulation here, you see that we go straight into a clamping mechanism. The legs are unhooked or the legs are tucked away because the drone is readily flying or actively flying. So we got the code here to simulate a drop off. It needs to read a certain amount of distances because that's the reason why we got the drone. It needs to be close enough to the person and its surrounding in order to know that the equipment will be delivered within proximity of a person, and it needs to be high enough in order to have a safe line drop to the position that it's been indicated. I have a manual button bypass here, and just for personal preferences, or if it doesn't read the command center readily available, the person there should be able to manually bypass it. So to unload, I have here that the distances need to be read within 60 inches for the forward or proximity surrounding distances, and it needs to be higher than 96 inches from the ground in order to do a safe delivery. So let's say the central command sends out a code to deliver. It will read the distances, and as you can see, nothing happened because we're too close to the ground to make a safe drop. So if we go ahead and increase our distance from the ground, which is above 96 inches, we send out the command again. You'll see here that the motors actuate because we're close enough to the person in front of us and we're far away from the ground. Same goes for the button here. If we press it, it read it, and the motors actuate. We also see here that the LED is just continuously flashing, telling us that the robot is ready to go. To unload or to load back up, to take the equipment away or to take the equipment to the people, we send a command to load it up to its belly, and you see here that the motors are rotating in reverse to simulate it loading into its belly. Here in the landing mechanism, we got that the distance sensor needs to be close enough to the ground in order for them to actuate. So if we decrease the distance here and we just keep decreasing it, we're getting close to the ground. We see here 36 inches should be, or about 3 feet should be when the legs should come out to be ready to make a landing. And so again, we're going back up, we're flying up, and once we hit 36 inches, you'll see that the legs get tucked back in. Here for the clamping mechanism, we got right now it's in that clamping motion. It is flying. We hit Everything's ready to go. It's over 96 inches. It unloads. Right, correct. The motors go, and we're ready to unclamp. We send out a code, and the clamping happens. And then back again, everything's ready to go. It needs all the equipment needs to return. We send out a clamping mechanism, and it'll clamp it up, and the drone will fly away. Thank you very much for seeing my demonstration. I hope this was a good one. Goodbye.